Hi, it's Nicole from A Day of Small Things. I filmed this essay writing vlog at the end of April, a few months ago now. I haven't shown you until now because the essays were marked anonymously and I didn't want to break any university rules, and now I've got my results back. I was writing two essays, one for the narrative transformations module, one for the creative nonfiction module. I sometimes refer to them as two essays, sometimes as an essay and a portfolio, just to clarify. And because of the nature of vlog, both the filming and the editing are messier than the usual sit-down type video. I hope you don't mind. Apologies for that. So here we go. Hi, it's Nicole. It is Monday the 14th of April 2025. I have assignment deadlines in exactly 2 weeks. So I would like to vlog the last leg of my essay writing with you. I could have started filming this weeks and months ago. I started preparing for the essay. I started doing research and doing the readings in February. But before this point, I was too stressed to film anything. So I haven't, sorry about that, and also I haven't posted much on my channel at all. Apologies for the same reason. But I now feel okay. The stress level is okay. I can film now. I'm going to show you what is it like to be a student at the assignment stage. And we have exactly 2 weeks. I think that's a good length of time to show you something interesting without being long and boring. So the essays, I have two. If you've been following me and my uni vlogs, I have two modules this term. One is called Narrative Transformations, basically how novels have been developing from Homer and Virgil to the medieval stage, Marie de France, Quentin de Troyes, Chaucer, and all the way to Renaissance, Faerie Queene by Spenser, and Shakespeare. We end with Shakespeare. So that's one module called Narrative Transformations. The second module is very different. It's a workshop-based creative nonfiction module. We'll be learning how to write memoir, biography, journalism, a bit of journalism. Personal essay is one of my favorite among all the subjects. So those are the two modules. And the narrative transformation asks us to submit a essay in a traditional sense, an academic essay, which is 3,000 words. I've picked my subject. I'll talk about that one in a separate video clip when I'm actually working on that essay. But for now, just to say, it's at the moment 3,500 or 700 words. So it's a bit over, which is a good place. I'd like it to be. I'm going to edit it down. So I have, I think, 4 things I need to do for that essay. One is I've written the body text, all my arguments, but I haven't written the introduction and conclusion. So that's one thing I need to write. Second thing, I need to keep working on my secondary reading. I need to keep reading reference books, so you can see all my library books there. I got them last week on both books I'm working on. I won't go into detail. So intro and outro, secondary reading, and then I need to do all the referencing. And lastly, I need to edit it down. That's the thing. That's probably not the last thing.
not in chronological order. There's 4 things I need to do. Today I'm going to talk about the creative nonfiction module and essay, because that one is a bit different. We are going to write a 6,000 word portfolio, which is not exactly an academic essay in the traditional sense. If you read The New Yorker or Times Literary Supplement or London Review of Books, it's that kind of essay. I hope that helps a bit. So 6,000 word portfolio and a 2,000 word critical commentary on my own work. So that's for the creative nonfiction module. Today I'm going to work on the creative nonfiction essay because I'm working from home today. I'm going to be at home all day, so I have hours and hours, which I think is when I work the best. I work best from home. I'm a house cat. Even the library, I love the libraries. I can stay in libraries for hours as well, but somehow my brain just works the best, most productive, most creative when I'm at home with unlimited tea, snacks, sofa for naps. It doesn't sound very productive, right? But those things help me to be very productive. The fact that I can sit here and film and say I'm not as stressed anymore is because for the last 2 weekends, so the Saturday just passed and the Saturday before that and the Monday before this, I was typing at my desk at home for about 6 hours, 8 hours, with breaks in between. I was able to be productive. So that's why now I can sit here and film, because both my essay and my portfolio are in good shape. I'm in the editing stage for both. Hooray! I am now at my desk working on the portfolio. It's extended from an existing essay that is called On Christmas Eve in Stratford-upon-Avon. If you watched one of my vlogs where I had a feedback session with my seminar leader, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the long version of that essay. I haven't been looking at this essay for a long time, so I think one weekend I just typed absolutely everything in and I left it for a few weeks, so now I can come back with a bit of distance to edit it and think about it more critically. At the moment it is on 4,654 words, including all the sections I would like to include. So basically it's a collection of shorter pieces on Shakespeare's plays. So every piece is on one of the Shakespeare's plays. So I'm including The Tempest, Macbeth, Richard III, Romeo and Juliet, a little bit on Richard II and A Midsummer Night's Dream, and then Twelfth Night. And the Twelfth Night section is mostly that previous essay. But I'm going to rearrange everything and edit it according to the feedback I received from my seminar leader, and hopefully to make it better. I am also going to take inspirations from Montaigne. I have a beautiful collection of Montaigne's essays. I've been listening to his essays on audiobook as well. And one sec, I'm also taking inspirations from Virginia Woolf, The Common Reader. One of the essays specifically is called How He Strikes a Contemporary. I've been reading it, making notes. I love Virginia Woolf's writing. And lastly, Charles Lamb. Charles Lamb is one of my favorites too, and his essays are different but brilliant as well. So I will be writing and then do a little bit of reading from those three authors and see how it goes. Hopefully make the whole thing better. We'll keep you updated. It's Wednesday, 16th of April. I'm just doing some reading tonight. This is an essay on Troilus Crusade by Barry Windett. I am just reading it and making some notes. So this is my setup. This is how I do most of my readings at this stage. So I have the PDF downloaded and uploaded into my GoodNotes app, and I mark on it directly with the Apple Pencil, and then I usually do that kind of relatively quickly for the first time round. This might not be the most efficient, productive way of reading essays and getting critical essays done, but this is my way. Maybe I need to improve. So I do that first time round. I highlight everything, make notes. So all the blue notes, the blue highlights are from the first time round, and the purple ones are from the second time round. So when I do the second round of reading, it's basically after the first time I decide this is worth me finding out a bit more, worth probably find out more because I might be able to quote them, might be able to use them to back up my arguments in my essay. So I read it a second time and then I do more notes. And then when I do my second time reading, I use Notion. So this is my Notion page. I have absolutely everything on my Notion page. One day I will show you my setup. So those are all the Troilus and Cressida essays I'm reading, and this is the Troilus and Crusade essays that I've been reading. When I do my second time round reading, I copy notes down, copy quotes down, and then make more notes. So when it comes to referring to them, adding them into my essay, I know where to go, where to find them. And this is how I keep track of all my readings, and it's working so far. Morning, it's Friday the 18th of April. It's Good Friday today. I'm going to do an all-day study day at home again. So today I'm going to work on the narrative transformations essay. So I'm now at the stage of information overload. Basically, since last time I chatted with you, I've been reading critical essays. So by this point, there are quite a few essays that's kind of in my head, and I have all the notes on my Notion page. I can't hold all of them in my head anymore. So today I'm going to do a bit of organizing. I'm going to write my essay down on a big piece of paper, just kind of in outline, and then I'm going to fit all of these essays around my essay. It feels really arrogant and selfish to say I'm going to fit all of these amazing critical essays written by amazing scholars to fit them around my essay, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to fit the arguments, include their arguments into my arguments. I got one essay on the methodology, 3/4 on Troilus and Cressida by Shakespeare. and I've got about 2 on Chaucer, Troilus and Crusade. So we'll start with that and see how I get on. And if I manage miraculously to do all that, I will be carrying on reading critical essays, and as I go along, I'll just fit them onto that piece of paper, so I don't have to do this process again. Hello, I'm done. It took me exactly 2 hours. So for the first hour, I did the outline, and the second hour, I did the notes for the critical essays. So as you can see, the parts in the middle in black ink, that's the essay outline, my essay outline, and the thinner blue and red and black pens ink, they are notes from the critical essays and the arguments I'd like to make use of. As you can see, there are a lot more conversations going on between me and the authors in the second half of my essay, and I am very happy with the progress. And now I'm going to go have a break. Hello, it's Sunday the 20th of April. It's Easter Sunday. I've been sitting here writing and reading for the whole of Good Friday and whole of Saturday, yesterday. And I went out today. I went to church in the morning. We had a sunrise communion and baptisms in the sea. And our minister, who is in his 60s, went and baptized 10 people in the North Sea, at 5:30, well, about 6:30 in the morning in May. A lot of respect. A lot of respect for him. So I came home in the afternoon, and I've been working on my essay again, the Narrative Transformations essay. I've been reading. There are so many critical essays to read. I think I need to stop reading now, as in I need to stop reading whole day now. If I need to read small chunks here and there for reference or for clarifying things, obviously that's fine, but I will stop reading new essays. I haven't got time. I need to start writing. So for writing, I follow Jordan Peterson's essay writing guide. I find it quite helpful. It has some overarching ideas and principles about essay writing, and then it gives some really practical steps on essay writing as well. I find them really helpful. So I am in principle following his advice, but I don't have time to follow it to the details, which is a shame, because I believe if I have time to do that, my essay will be better, but I don't. So at the moment I am on draft number 3 and outline number 3 or number 4. I'm on outline number 4, so I'm just working between the draft and the outline. Basically each time. So you start with the outline and you write your essay according to your outline, and then you look at your essay, do your reading, and you realize you need to change things, so you change things in the second version of the outline. And then when you have a new outline, you write new essay. I think that's vaguely what he says. Please read his original essay writing guide. Don't listen to me, but that's how I'm using it. So I've got 4 versions of the outline and 3 versions of the essay. The essay draft, and then I work between them. I find it really helpful. So each time I kind of fine tune it more and more. If it's a big change, it turns from draft 1 to draft 2. If it's a small tuning, it's draft 2.1 and 2.2. And then now I'm on draft number 3. We should keep going. Hi, it's Monday the 21st of April. We are exactly 1 week to the deadline. I've been working all morning. I just had lunch. I have arrived at the grand milestone of draft 3.1. I rewrote the whole section on Chaucer and managed to cut it down by half, and I think it's a lot more interesting as well. I might rearrange the sections a little bit, and let me show you my screen. I am very proud to say I am exactly at 2,985 words. The word count is 3,000 max, so I'm very happy. So here are the sections. I've done the conclusion. I am now working on the introduction. Can you see the first line in my introduction? I am going to go on and read a bit of Lamb, and just in general, I just want to quote something from before the 20th century, some critical comments or critical essays before my introduction. And I can always trust Lamb for a nice, cute quotation. And also for the very boring second paragraph of the introduction. If you saw that, I will edit that. That's just like almost like an outline of my essay. It just says what the different sections do. I will not leave it like that. That's too boring. So don't you worry. I have finished writing my intro. I didn't manage to find anything in Lamb, unfortunately, but I did find something from William Hazlitt. Just to say, I showed you a clip earlier. The graffitis on the book, on the library book, is not mine, although I do find them a bit funny. So I used a bit from William Hazlitt. He actually compared and contrasted Shakespeare and Chaucer, which doesn't happen that often from all the readings I've done. So it's quite interesting that he did, and that's useful for me. So I made use of his comparison. And because the collection of essays from before the 20th century are all quite short, so I just had a quick look at other people's
writings because why not? So a few interesting ones I want to show you. So I read a bit from Coleridge. The one thing that stood out was the way he categorized them. So he put Troilus and Cressida, he said it's like a link between proper histories and more myth-like histories. So basically, examples would be Pericles and Titus Andronicus. He thinks they are more fictional histories and proper history. Oh, he calls them legendary dramas. Yeah. And the second category is called proper ancient histories. I love how they can just say proper without any definition, which include Coriolanus, Julius Caesar, etc. And he thinks Troilus and Cressida is somewhere between those two groups, which I find interesting. This is Bernard Shaw from 1884. His opinion on the same play. He says Cressida, Shaw thought to be most enchanting. Shakespeare was indulgent to women, and he thought Cressida to be Shakespeare's first real woman. So I just find it fascinating to see people from a long time ago what they think about Shakespeare. And I kind of like their non-academic, really whimsical style. As you can see, I start to read random things, which is a good sign because that just shows I'm happy with the progress of my essay, and I am happy with the progress of my essay. I will continue editing it, but I don't think anything major will change, thank goodness. We'll get on to do the referencing. So my references at the moment are just a author's name in the bracket. I need to put all of the books into the software I used last time, I can't remember what it's called, and do the referencing properly in the correct style, which I can't remember what it's called either. So that's the next step. Here is the unsightly environment I've been working in. There are so many books. My desk is not big enough. I don't think any desk is going to be big enough for all of these books. So they are all on my floor. It is Friday, the 25th of April. I am done. I think it's done. I've been working all day, so I made use of the evening to final proofread and cross-checked all the reference. So I use a good software called Zotero. It's really easy to use and I'm happy with it in general. But because it extracts information from ISBN numbers, there are just some little mistakes here and there. So I had to search every single book in my library on the library website, because library website actually gives you citations. You can just copy and paste straight from there. So I cross-checked absolutely everything. So that's done. That took about 2 hours, maybe an hour. And then I made all the changes, so I printed it out and then did all the did some final editing, final changes. So I corrected all of that onto my Google Doc, and I've got a title. It's now called Perspectives, Value, and the Narrator of Life. For now, that's what it's called. And it is 2,788 words.
not including footnotes, not including bibliography, obviously. So I think I'm done. This is it. I'm going to PDF it, and I'm not going to submit it now. It's 2 minutes to midnight, but I will put it to bed after this. When I go to bed, it will go to bed too. And tomorrow is Saturday. I'm going to work all day on my creative nonfiction portfolio. Just in case, sorry, I didn't say, this is the narrative transformations essay that I'm at the end of, finally. So, very happy with the progress, with 2 days to spare. What an achievement. See you tomorrow. I'm sure I'll tell you how I've been doing with the other essay, the portfolio, tomorrow as well. So I'll see you tomorrow. Morning. Well, it's already after midday, so afternoon. It's Saturday the 26th of April. As promised, I'm here to tell you about my portfolio. I think I haven't said anything about my portfolio for days, for minutes for you who are watching, because I keep leaving it and prioritize my essay. So this is my neglected child. I'm so sorry. I love you very much. I'm also holding this mic because, apologies for the last few clips, the microphone kept rubbing on my top and making really annoying noises because my microphone is a bit broken, which I'm very sad about. The little sponge hat detached itself, as in split at the bottom. So the bottom is still attached to the base, but the top kind of split. The sponge broke, and every time it touches anything, I think it's the sponge itself rubbing the mic inside and making those noise. I don't know what to do. If you know a tip how to fix this, let me know. This is a very good quality microphone. I hope you agree. So I don't want to get rid of it. Obviously, it's not cheap either. I bought it specifically to film vlogs when I'm out and about, and now it's broken. Sorry, that's aside. So my portfolio, where was I? I kept leaving it and prioritized my other essay because in my head this is easier than the other essay. But it's interesting, I looked back at my earlier clips. About 2 weeks ago I said the portfolio was almost ready. I just needed to edit it, and each piece is about a Shakespeare play, and I gave you a list of my plays. So much has changed, and I'd still say this is easier than the other essay, even though this is twice as long, almost 3 times as long. So much has changed. I had to add almost 2,000 words onto it. And secondly, now it's not only about Shakespeare and his plays anymore. I will show you my desk in a moment, and you will see all the books on my desk. They are obviously very different to my previous book stack, which is all on the floor. And surprisingly, they are not of Shakespeare or his plays at all. But I haven't got rid of all of the plays, obviously. I am still mostly writing about Shakespeare and my journey and my relationship with Shakespeare. But something got added in, and the only thing I would still say is true from my previous clips is that I think it is better. It is better now because of this little section I added in. So the plays, I told you that's included. I think I said The Tempest,
Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, Richard II, A Midsummer Night's Dream, and Twelfth Night. I think that's what I said. So for now, I still have The Tempest, which is a lot longer than I imagined. Macbeth is still there, almost exactly as it is. Romeo and Juliet is completely gone. Richard II was removed, but was added in to a much longer section. I added a little bit about Coriolanus, which I'm very pleased about because I like Coriolanus. And Midsummer Night's Dream is gone. Twelfth Night is still here. So that's where I am at the moment. Also, almost forgot to say, Richard III is still here, exactly as it was, as it started off as. And it's one of my favorite sections. So now, let me show you my desk in all its glorious messiness. It's not too bad, actually. This is my desk at the moment. I will put you down so I can show you things with both hands. So first of all, this is my draft I've been working on, scribbling notes, and it's just a lot easier to edit when things are on pieces of paper. And first of all, the mess. This is keyboard. This is Easter eggs. I got them after Easter. From right to the left, my Uniqlo hot water thermal flask. I drink hot water, and water keeps your brain sharp. So I drink a lot of water while I study. So this is my trusted pens. These are the colors that I use most often. Well, exclusively. I only use these colors. And frustratingly, you can't get these wonderful pens in the UK. You can only get them in Asia. Well, I've only been able to get them from Asia. So why are they special? I'll show you. This is turning into a stationery haul. So they are Friction Ball Slim 038. It is a very thin gel pen, and this is my little notebook, my mini Moleskine. So I write all my notes in here. This is my notes from narrative discourse, the narratology theory book by Gerard Genette. This is all the notes from that book, the framework basically I used in my narrative transformations essay. So I made a lot of notes from his books, and all of these notes are made with these pens. And why are they special? They are thin, first of all, for little grids like that, and secondly, they rub off. They're the most amazing thing. So I love my notebook pretty, as you probably can tell, and I don't make mistakes when I write very often, but when I do, it's super annoying when you can't correct them. So these pens, they rub off, even though they look like normal gel pen. They do leave a little dent, but I quite like the texture it leaves on the page. I love these pens. I use them for everything. And books. Now, Mad About Shakespeare by Jonathan Bate is one of my favorite books. I want to write like him, to be brief. That's why he's here. You can see I've read it many times. I listened to the audiobook many times. It's narrated by himself. I think this was my favorite book in 2023 or something, and I said a lot about it, and a lot of you read it, and a lot of you said you loved it as well. I love it so much. As you can see, I made my own index for each chapter because I go back to this so often and I want to find exactly the sentence I read, and it took me a while at the beginning each time because there are so many pearls, I just can't remember where they are. So I made my own index. Obviously, I put a lot of little flags in there as well. I wrote notes in the margin, I highlighted pages. But for each chapter, I made my own index, like a list of keywords for that chapter. So next time when I look, I can find things a bit faster. Next, 2 other books which are here for the purpose of instruction. So Ursula K. Le Guin, Steering the Craft, and The Situation, the story by Vivian Gornick. So the last pile, I got The Diary of Virginia Woolf, The Common Reader, Mrs. Dalloway, and Orlando. So yeah, that extra section is about Virginia Woolf. I didn't think I would add her in there. I blame Ursula Le Guin. She uses Woolf's passages as examples so much, and in one chapter on rhythm, she basically says Woolf is the height of good rhythm, good style. So I thought I'd better read some Woolf. I like Woolf already. I've got all these books already. I didn't buy them specifically. Well, I did buy this one specifically for my portfolio, and this has turned out very, very useful. Woolf loved Shakespeare, and I want to include her. That's everything on my desk. It is Sunday the 27th of April. It is now almost 3 o'clock, 2:46 precise. I just submitted my narrative transformations essay. I pressed submit, and now it's submitted. It says submission uploaded successfully, and I downloaded a receipt. I love the university system. You upload your essay onto a platform, onto the system, and then they give you a receipt. Says exactly what time, which day, what time you submitted it. So I'm keeping that receipt just in case there's any issue. So that's out of the way. I am whole 24 hours ahead of the deadline. I'm very pleased about that. I can't cope with the pressure of submitting the essay on the day, on the dot. I know some people do that. I know a lot of people do that, and they work really well under pressure. Everything kind of works out according to plan. I'm very thankful. I was a bit sick last night. I was a bit worried, but I'm okay now, and this is done. So 1 out of the way, 1 more to go. I have been working on the portfolio this morning, as well as the critical commentary. I can't remember if I've told you about this critical commentary thing. It's basically me writing a review, a critical essay on my portfolio. So I've done that this morning. So last night I printed it out. I printed the portfolio out and then did all the scribbling, all the editing on paper. And this morning I kind of transferred everything onto the digital file, and I realized I knew this. I just wasn't sure. The word count is 6,000 words, but I'm not quite sure if it's 6,000 max or about 6,000. So I just been taking it as 6,000 in general. So this morning I looked at the word count, which is 6,500 words, and I thought, how about if the word count is actually 6,000 max? This is not good. So I had to cut out the whole section on Macbeth. I feel a bit sorry, a bit sad about that, but I had to harden my heart to cut him out. To be fair, looking at it retrospectively, that section didn't contribute to the overall theme of my portfolio, so it's probably good that I had to cut it out. And so that's, generally speaking, all sorted. I will still print them out, the portfolio as well as the critical commentary. The commentary is 2,000 words. I will print them out again and then just look through them on paper again. And then when I come back tonight, I will submit them by midnight or around midnight, definitely before I go to bed. That is the plan. One last update. It's now 11 o'clock in the evening, the same day, Sunday, the 27th of April. I've submitted my portfolio. I am so tired. I imagined this moment will be celebration, high energy, but I'm just so tired. I just want to go to bed. Everything went fine, thankfully. At the very, very end, Google Docs did some funny things, something to do with my referencing software plugin, I think. But in the end, I think it's all fine. Imagine I spent so long editing every tiny detail and I submitted something different because Google Docs had its own mind. Anyway, I hope not. Otherwise, I'm going to be very sad. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed coming along to my essay writing journey. I will, of course, tell you how I do, as in when I receive my marks, I will let you know. I don't know if I will get better marks than my first essay. I got a distinction for my first narrative transformations essay, so I really want to get another distinction as well, but I can't tell. But I can honestly say I worked harder. I definitely worked harder this time. I read more books, I learned more things. I worked very hard reading and studying those two books that I was comparing and contrasting for weeks and weeks. So I'm happy to say, even if I don't get a distinction again, I've done my best. So that's okay. I'm happy with that. And for the portfolio, this portfolio was developed, extended from a previous essay, a previous summative essay, and that one got very good feedback as well. Again, this is such a long piece of writing. I've never done such a long piece of writing to be assessed before. I think I've done longer writing for stories and just for fun. So again, I have no idea. But I don't need to worry about that until the marks come back. And I can't quite tell from the university website when the feedback will come back. I reckon probably sometime in the summer, June, July, something like that. I have no idea. And I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush knowing what my marks are, just in case they are not good. So I am now free as a bird all the way till October. Can you imagine? It's only end of April because I don't have a dissertation to write this year. All my course mates are writing dissertation after this. Poor souls. I'm so exhausted. I can't imagine writing another even bigger project straight after this. So I'm really happy to have a break, and I'll worry about this when I come to it next year. I will talk about next year. Basically, I have one module of learning seminar, and then I will have my dissertation to write. So different kind of pressure, but I'm really, really glad I'm doing this part-time. If you are thinking about going back to the uni, do it part-time. So anyway, before all of that happens, I'm really looking forward to the choices of seminars, the options of modules for next year. I don't know when that will come out, but I'm really looking forward to choose my module for next year. But anyway, for now, I'm going on holiday. Thank you for your patience that I haven't been uploading much at all for month and month. Thank you for you guys who always leave me comments. I really feel encouraged that you are still out there. When I post a video, you are still interested and you are still interacting and you care about what I read and what I study. I feel really touched. So this is the end of my essay writing vlog. I hope it gives you a flavor of what student life is like, and maybe a little bit about what my study style is, and maybe it's helpful for you if you are a student. But if you're not a student, I hope you had fun watching me struggle. I had fun. It's hard work, but overall I don't regret it and I enjoy it, and I really enjoyed working hard, sitting here for hours every day. It sounds really strange, but I did enjoy it. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one.